City Council committee wants to go to the FBI as the committee members try to determine whether fellow council member Leanna Cumber, who's also running for mayor, lied. The committee, which met today, is digging into what involvement, if any, Cumber and her husband had with a failed attempt to sell JEA. News4Jax reporter Jim Piggott covered the meeting and asked again whether politics is the real reason for this investigation right now.
Even though this meeting was about Councilmember Leanna Cumber, again, she wasn't there and has made it clear she's not going to participate in this. Well, that's not stopping the Special Investigation Committee, whose purpose is to find out what Leanna Cumber knew about her husband Hussein's role, a former JEA board member, and his dealings that a group had of hoping to take over the management of JEA.
She said she's not behind any JEA sale on that, but what's the point of all of this?
I think I set it up there. It's important to speak the truth, and for us as a body, it's important to seek the truth. We need to know what happened. The city needs to know that it was not misled or deceived. And in doing so, citizens of Jacksonville need to know that they can trust their government.
Shouldn't this have been done earlier, though? I mean, I know we're back on the campaign issue, but that's what this is all about. That's what it appears to be all about. You're a Dan Davis supporter. She's running for mayor. And that's what it all appears to look like.
And I think who I support in the race is irrelevant. I think the political thing would have been to ignore or delay these credible allegations.
The committee received a number of emails like this that have been leaked earlier. Those emails spell out what meetings Cumber's husband had with that company. In a letter sent yesterday to the council committee, Leanna Cumber's attorney said, ironically, those emails were supplied by an individual involved in the Daniel Davis campaign, who at one time was working alongside Hussein Cumber during the JEA ordeal. Remember, Leanna Cumber and Daniel Davis are in a bitter fight for mayor as two of the 7 candidates in the race. Leanna Cumber had said the reason that she didn't disclose the information about her husband's dealings was because her husband was working as an FBI informant. City Councilman Nick Howland chaired today's council meeting, and he was one of those who had complained about Leanna Cumber's lack of disclosure.
He was heavily involved, much more than was intimated in the past.
And how is she involved in this?
Well, the big issue that we have is that she did not disclose this information in her disclosure. This information was left out. And what we've learned is her husband, indeed, an immediate family member, was heavily involved in the JEA deal.
And if the FBI said don't talk, does that make a difference?
Well, I think it would, because the FBI would have done that for a specific reason. And we do hear from Councilwoman Cumber that the FBI instructed her to leave that information off of her disclosure. I think it's highly unlikely that the FBI would ask someone to submit a deceiving or misleading disclosure. But if they did, we'd like to know.
The committee will meet one more time in 2 weeks. At that time, they will issue a final report and send those findings off to the State Ethics Commission or the State Attorney General. It would be up to them to decide if any further action is needed. Jim Piggott, Channel 4, the local station.